Welcome to the 513 podcast. I'm your host, Nick Nickel, also known as Bengals Storm. Don't have any co-hosts with me today, but I'm here with someone very special. Raw Tag Team Champ, SmackDown Tag Team Champ, NXT Tag Team Champ. What? Probably another promotion Tag Team Champ. Caught with Montez Ford, Bobby Lashley, Angelo Dawkins. How are we doing today, man?
Doing all right about yourself, fam?
Doing great, man. Just going day by day through college. I mean, you're helping making it easier with SmackDowns, but yeah, man,
Hey,
going good.
Friday nights are usually the pregame, baby, for a fun weekend.
But yeah, man. But we got some questions to do, some Cincinnati, some WWE, but let's get down with it.
Let's roll.
All right, so first question I have for you today, which is a WWE question, is what is the average day like for you on a Friday when you have to go on the road and get to a SmackDown?
So average day for me on a Friday is man, I wake up, try to get a decent breakfast in, just like kind of clear my mind because I know I'm on my way to SmackDown that day. So whether it be like watching ESPN or like watching something on TV, or I'll be watching like One Piece or YouTube videos just to like clear my head, getting ready, get my mind right, and then put my suit on and head over to SmackDown pretty much, and then just attack the day.
Yeah, but how is it like being backstage? Like, how is it like being backstage? Who do you like talk with in terms of wrestlers, and how long does it take? Just give us the details, the juicy details.
I mean, shoot, man, it's fun. You know what I'm saying? Locker room's one big happy family, pretty much. I mean, I talk to everybody, from whether it's like playing Tekken with like Kofi, Woods, Ricochet, and all that stuff, to like talking sports with a lot of the guys like Big E, Cody Rhodes. I'll talk sports to every once in a while. AJ, I make fun of him. I keep telling him that I keep messing with him because he's a Georgia fan, saying that Brown draft stock drop to 18 so the Bengals can draft him. But nah, man, it's fun, man. We just like I mean, I talk a lot of smack to Pretty Deadly because one of them's a Barcelona fan, and you know I'm a Real Madrid guy, so you know what I'm saying, I gotta let him know who run things and know La Liga, you know what I'm saying, Champions League, Hala Madrid.
I mean, I'm not much into soccer. I got some European friends that like big into it. Like if they told me one sentence about soccer, I'd probably leave the room. But speaking of sports, let's get down to Cincinnati. Free agency coming up, combine coming up, draft coming up. I mean, so first things first, the biggest debate with Cincinnati fans right now is what to do with T. Higgins. Because the debate is, could we tag and trade him to another team, or do we just give him the tag, keep him, and hope we can extend him the next year, or else he could go on the Jesse Bates route and we just let him go for nothing?
Well, I mean, if anything, if worst comes to worst, I hope it's a tag and trade. If that's worst case scenario, I think they don't let him walk out the door though. They definitely got to re-sign T. I like him and Chase together. That's a tandem that nobody has. You know what I'm saying? We got two number ones. You know what I'm saying? We got to pay them both. Obviously, T. Higgins comes first before Jamar Chase. I think Jamar Chase is next year. So hopefully they can get a deal done. And like hopefully Joe Burrow was like, hey, look, this is like helping push it along. Like, because he said that he wants T. T said he wants to stay in Cincinnati. Jamar's even said he wants T to stay in Cincinnati. So hopefully at some point, like they just sign him. But if it's tag and trade, like at least we're getting something in place of T. Now I don't know exactly what that is. I don't know if that's draft picks. I don't know if that's another player. I mean, in the perfect scenario, I heard a little birdie, you know what I'm saying? There's a little birdie by the name of Justin Jefferson in Minnesota. I mean, I'll tag and trade with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Get the LSU boys back together, the trio. But other than that, man, I really hope they re-sign T. I hope they get a deal done so we ain't got to discuss this because the whole league wants the Bengals to practically somehow get rid of T. Higgins, which is insane. Just because it's like, oh, they need to trade. T. Higgins is leaving anyway. He wants receiver one money. So like it seemed like for the last 2 years, everybody in the media and all that stuff have been pretty much talking about, oh, the Bengals are getting rid of T. Higgins. They don't want T. Higgins, and like just coming up with crazy narratives and stuff about it involving him. So I just hope they get a deal done. And then they can go back to the media and laugh even more. And then when Jamar Chase signs, it's like, ha, got y'all.
I mean, I've heard a little inside scoop of like what T. Higgins wants. It's not ridiculous. That's all I'm going to say. Because if I say it, I'll probably have a Bengals media sniper to my head every time I go outside. But that's all I'm going to say. It's not ridiculous. It's not something Jamar Chase would want, something Devontae would want, something Jefferson. It's reasonable, but just depends on how the Bengals see it. But moving on to another debate in Bengals free agency, Jeremy Fowler of ESPN tweeted that we have 2 people the Bengals are thinking of cutting: Joe Mixon and BJ Hill. Who do you think we should cut anyone?
Nah, that's tough. I don't think they cut Joe Mixon because I feel like he's been like the more consistent. I feel like we don't run the ball enough anyway, but I feel like we lose Joe Mixon. He's a big part of our running game. I know Chase Brown has come along towards the end of the season, but I hope they don't cut him. BJ Hill, and that's tough. That's really tough.
See, for that, I saw like someone say you save $8 million cap with BJ.
Yeah.
And look at DJ Reader with his injury now. It's like the amount of money you're going to pay him is, look at that, $8 million. So it's like, do you want BJ Hill or do you want DJ?
Yeah.
If that's the case, I want DJ. I mean,
yeah. Get DJ and then probably sign another D tackle on free agency, or like maybe BJ Hill wants a little less money to stay in Cincinnati. Who knows? Like I know they restructured Mixon's contract last year to where he took less money because he sees the window that the Bengals have and he wants to be a part of that window. And they love Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon loves it in Cincinnati. And last year everybody was saying Joe Mixon was going to get cut or released or whatever, and he was just like, no, he's just laughing at the whole time. But nah, man, I would say if anything, I guess get rid of BJ or release BJ, free up some cap space, and go get another D tackle. I just kind of hope we like rebuffer that defense a little bit.
Yeah.
The defense was a little sketchy,
What's that faction called that you're facing? AOP? AOP?
The Final Testament?
Yeah, a little Final Testament, you may call it.
Yeah, it was, and I know injuries were a part of the game, but like this was not the same defense that was the last 2 years, it was just weird to see. And I feel like we realized how big of a loss Jesse Bates and Von Bell were this past season because the run defense wasn't there. Obviously, injuries had a part in it, but like it was our secondary was young. Just a lot of big miscommunications. They kind of missed on the Nick Scott signing and all that stuff. And I was like, I thought Nick Scott was going to actually be pretty decent, but like Jordan Battle started to come along, which is huge. Now the debate is out on Dax Hill. What's he going to look like this year and stuff like that. So hopefully we can make some signings. Hopefully we can get another pass rusher, another D tackle, maybe an interior pass rusher, maybe another pass rusher on the edge because Trey Hendrickson can't do it on his own in the pass rushing wise. And then maybe a couple more DBs. I also feel like Trey Flowers was a big part of that secondary too, because he was huge. He was a tall DB that could cover tight ends. He was the dude that was always assigned to like guys like Travis Kelce, and you need guys that could cover the tight end and stuff like that. So hopefully they get it fixed.
Yeah, I mean, I love what you said with that. It's just let too many people go out once and put all your chips on like 10 people and like 2 of them cash you out. It's like you put a 15-leg parlay and only 2 of the things worked out. You still got 2 things right. It's just you didn't win the parlay.
Yeah, it was a little rough to watch.
But moving on to the next question, back to WWE. It's Mania season, so a question I have for you is, first of all, if you could have a dream match, singles, tag team, whatever, who would it be against?
Say it again. Sorry, my kid was at the door.
You're fine.
Go to mommy. I'm busy. I'm doing an interview. Go to mommy. Go outside.
We'll edit that out.
Yeah.
Okay, but so the question I had for you was, if you could have a dream match against anyone, singles, tag team, who would it be against?
Tag team, definitely. I've been on record saying this. TLC versus New Day, and whenever they reconcile their differences, the Usos, when they stop trying to beat each other up. But that'd definitely be the tag team dream match, especially like in Philly. That would have been crazy. TLC match. And then singles, that's a little tough. That's a little tough. I have to say singles, I would have to go with man. I'll go with Seth Rollins.
Oh.
Seth Rollins and Chad Gable. Those two.
Chad. Yeah. Seth is like I feel like just because he's a good wrestler, but for some reason, first thing I thought was like, oh yeah, Bears fan. Beat him.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I always mess with him about that too. We'll text back and forth, and we'll text back and forth every once in a while, joking about football and stuff like that. Yeah, the Seth, Seth was on his way out when I was on my way to NXT. So I started at FCW, and that's when the Shield was pretty much kind of heading out. So we kind of crossed paths very small bit. And then we wrestled earlier last year. And that was a fun match. And I just feel like I'm way better than I was that time we wrestled. So I like to get another crack at it. And then me and Gable, we just been going at it since we've been at the PC. So we've had matches forever. So I know we could go in there and rock the house.
Yeah, man. I mean, I could not believe how a match between you and Gable or Seth would go just one-on-one, give you 20 minutes and see what you cook. But going back to Cincinnati with a draft question, what are you looking for at the 18th pick? Like, if any prospect you wanted that's realistic, what 3 guys do you want most?
Definitely Brock Bowers if he falls there. I have to go if they're there. Brock Bowers 1. I'll go 1B. Newton from Illinois.
Oh, yes.
Sweat from Texas, the D tackle from Texas.
Sweat or Murphy is 2 of them.
Sweat.
Yeah.
And the tackle from Oregon State.
Oh, Tyrese.
Yeah, Tyrese.
Yeah. Oh, man. I mean, that's mainly what most Bengals fans have it as. It's either just praying to God Jim Harbaugh like helps Ohio for once and like drafts like JJ McCarthy instead of Brock.
Yeah, I mean, well, let's pump our brakes and let's not act like old Jimmy Harbaugh's like the Ohio Slayer. He's still left with a 2-5 record.
Give us another win. Give us another win in the NFL.
Yeah.
Help us win an
whoa. He's still under 500 against Ohio State.
Yeah.
So
but let us get this win in April, and then both us and Cleveland can beat him once fall comes around.
Yeah.
He's on the schedule, so.
You know what's funny? There's no way he's drafting JJ over and not keep like over Justin Herbert.
I want it. That's all I want. It just be so funny.
It'll be funny, but like that'll be the shortest. That'll be Urban Meyer like
Tim Tebow to Jacksonville.
Yeah, that'll pretty much be like that. I mean, hey, look, there's no way he's getting rid of Justin Herbert. No way. If he drafts JJ, he needs to be drug tested. And that's even me.
All right, man. Okay, so next question I have is like, you have a lot of thoughts on the Bengals, and you probably haven't expressed enough of them. That like, is there anything that you think is like a Bengals hot take, which you see on Twitter? Like, most people think we should do this, and you think leaning towards something else.
Honestly, I think the Bengals should kind of go a little bit more all in on defense. I would like to see them to get another playmaker on offense, though. They need another playmaker on offense because, like, if you look at it after that Super Bowl year and then the back-to-back AFC Championship appearances and stuff like that, the AFC North, which is probably the best division in football outright, they were basically like they saw the Bengals like loading up on their talent. So like they were like, oh, we're about to have more playmakers than y'all on both defense and offense. So like we had Tyler Boyd, we had T. Higgins, we had Jamar Chase. Well, they had 6 DBs and they double teamed 2. Then they had like it was just like, all right, like tight end play becomes a little bit of a problem. The good news with tight end play is we got Tanner Hudson. Tanner Hudson was the diamond in the rough that came out of nowhere in the practice squad. Now, if we attack the tight end position this year in free agency, hopefully we get Noah Fant. If not, then let's attack the draft, whether it's Sanders from Texas or Brock Bowers from Georgia. Like, I think like we definitely do need another playmaker at that receiver, or like have him be like the Swiss Army knife. He can play running back and receiver at the same time. Like it doesn't matter. A dude that's interchangeable, that's just a matchup nightmare on offense. But on defense, I would definitely like to see another pass rusher other than Trey Hendrickson.
Yeah, man. I mean, like tight end, I hope we go and get like a Mike Gesicki. But in defense, you're like hoping they get another pass rushing D tackle. I feel like the biggest loss we've had in the past 3 seasons actually has been Larry O.
Yeah, man, that was
because we replaced him with Zach Carter, and Zach has been rated as the worst run stopping D tackle in the league and has 1 sack in his career. So production.
I mean, hey, look, it was a second year, so okay. But like I do, man, yeah. I definitely think Larry O was a big loss, but man, that's another reason I'm scared if they get rid of BJ Hill. We got Zach Carter right there, and like I like him, but I'm like, oh, I'm waiting on him to like, you know what I'm saying, finally make that jump. And then we also got Murphy from Clemson, who started to show flashes towards the end of the year. Hopefully he capitalizes and that picks up there, but I would like to definitely see another pass rusher, run stopper in the middle somewhere in there. A guy that could change it up a little bit, because if we're going to keep DJ Reader, we definitely need to sign another interior.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Or draft.
Yeah, or I mean, Newton wouldn't be. He would not be bad at all. But moving on to the next question is back to WWE. What are your thoughts with the whole Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, and The Rock?
Man, I don't know. Sound like a beef between some royal families, if you ask me. I mean, hey, first off, The Rock versus Roman, that is definitely must see. That is groundbreaking in its own right for money reasons, for bragging rights in the family, and all this stuff. And I mean, if you really look at it, Cody needs to finish his story, but really want to get technical. There's a story that needs to be finished because I don't know if y'all saw an episode of Young Rock where Rock is chilling, watching TV, and a little kid just jumps on him, starts, and he says, "Oh, that's my little cousin. You might know him now as Roman Reigns." And he was trying to wrestle The Rock right there in the living room, and he was like, "Nah, a match like that needs to be made for Mania." So the little egg was, you know what I'm saying, the little seed was planted right there. Now, Cody, of course, got to avenge his loss from last year. He won the Rumble back-to-back the first time since Stone Cold has done it. And he deserves the main event because when you win the Royal Rumble, you go right to that main event of Mania. So, I mean, man, or you could just have a good old-fashioned triple threat and see who wins, you know? But nah, I mean, hey, look, I'm kind of split down the middle on this. I'm cool with everybody. So, you know what I'm saying? If there's a lot on the line here. Cody needs to redeem himself after the loss last year. The Rock wants to prove supremacy in the Samoan bloodline. And then Roman's out here trying to keep the supremacy of the bloodline and going for a record that he's still trying to break right now, and that's Hulk Hogan's record. So, I mean, there's a lot to lose and a lot to gain here, and either way, the fans are going to be happy with whatever.
I mean, hopefully happy. It feels like WWE, Twitter, those guys, 90% of what happens, they don't like it, but we'll see. But moving on to the last Bengals question I have for you is for free agency. I don't know if you know many players going to free agency, but if you had to choose 3 guys that you would want to become a Bengal, who would it be?
3 guys that I would want to become a Bengal. Not including T. Higgins, right?
Not new, just new guys. Something for the jersey swap community to have some content to use.
I wouldn't mind Christian Wilkins, but I feel like he's gonna get tagged. Christian Wilkins, I think Sheldon Richardson is probably a free agent now too.
Sheldon Rankins.
Oh, Sheldon, Sheldon Rankins. My bad.
I remember we were this close to getting him in like 2021 and then he signed last second with the Jets, and so he's interested with us. So hopefully this is the year.
Yeah, and then man, probably Noah Fant.
I mean, I would not be mad with Noah Fant. I don't know if you've been keeping up with Bengals Twitter. There's this one guy. He wants to join us, and we want him to join with us. Jermaine Illuminor.
Yep, I know that one. That was my 4th.
Hates Kansas City. Hates Mahomes. Loves Burrow. Probably loves Skyline Chili. And he's an offensive lineman that's good. Match made in heaven.
Come on over, bro. We need a right tackle. Come on through. And like, also, I'll say this about our O-line this year. They weren't as bad as what everybody was making them out to be this year. They actually were okay, like from a pass blocking standpoint. I mean, obviously Joe Burrow got hurt, but that was more of a like he got the ball out, he got hit late, and then like he made the touchdown pass to Mixon in the Ravens game. But like other than that, like outside of I'll say the first game of the season where it was like a hurricane in Cleveland, where everybody was just slipping all over the place and Joe Burrow really couldn't move. Once Joe Burrow started to move around and stuff like that, the blocking was fine. Even for Jake Browning, the blocking was fine. Like, I think our O-line was starting to gel a little bit. And obviously, they were one of the only O-lines that had every O-lineman starting every game. Nobody missed any time. So that was cool. But, like, hopefully we can, like, improve even more next year and